And here we are. Let's go ahead and talk about the Panthers 1-9, the Titans 3-7. Not much to talk about here. This is the where we draft in that bowl. You know what I mean? This is jockeying for position bowl. Now the Panthers, I know that they swapped first round picks right with the Bears. So the Bears would be the number one team in the draft if they were drafting this year. If if that comes to fruition right now, and then I don't know where the Panthers will be, but they'll be somewhere in the top 10. But you know what? I was happy to see that they said no benching of Bryce because it's not Bryce's fault that this team is that bad. And good thing Jeff didn't give me the side eye and the face that he usually gives me when I put the pictures up. But Jeff, you know that Bryce Young, if you throw the kid on Seattle, Seattle is probably the second best team in the NFC right now because he would have he would be able to put that offense right where they need to be. He can manage the game. He won't mess this thing up. If you had him in LA on the Rams would probably be a 5-5 team right now because you have enough veterans on that group that can help you guide you through. This guy really was very unfortunate for the Panthers to move up 8 spots to come get him. That was really the worst thing that could ever happen to Bryce Young because this was a team with no plan. They went after a coach that was seen as a malcontent and a guy that was fired mid-season the year before. You never go after you never hire a coach that got fired a mid-season before who doesn't have hardware. Ron Rivera was a special case because Ron Rivera went to a Super Bowl. Frank Reich did not. Okay, and so pretty much that wound up being a cheap move for a cheap franchise at this point. Jerry Richardson really did try to pay coaches. That's one thing I can give Jerry Richardson. He knew how to select coaches. And it seems like the last few coaching runs, the Panthers just have failed in that category. I feel like Matt Rule, if you probably would have kept him around just another year and you gave him somebody like Bryce, you would have had a better situation going on here in Carolina, but you didn't. So now you have to start over again. You got yourself a quarterback that's the perfect type of leader, the perfect face for your team, and you're messing and you're blowing it. And then now you have fans blaming him for the reason why this team is bad. No, this team is bad because they have the worst offensive line in football. They have no running game. They have one wide receiver in Adam Thielen, and Hayden Hurst shows up sometimes. And it's just a really, really bad situation going on in Carolina on both sides of the ball. So what can you do? This team didn't have expectations to be a playoff team this year anyway. This team knew that it was going to be a 3-year build, and they're going to do it with Bryce. And so pretty much I like the fact that they came out and said, Bryce is not getting benched. Sorry. Not going to happen. What's the point? We didn't have the expectations to be a great team like that this year anyway. We weren't thinking Super Bowl. We were thinking possibly 4 or 5 wins. That's it. And, the Titans have been an absolute disappointment to me. They were supposed to be my dark horse in the AFC, a team that you didn't see coming because I trusted Mike Vrabel. And I feel like a lot of people are trying to scapegoat Vrabel right now. But I feel like if the Titans move on from him at the end of the year, there wouldn't be anything wrong with that because I feel like they've ran their course together. This just doesn't work anymore. I would love to see Variable with a team that he can really build. So possibly he could be looking at his next team right now, Jeff, with the Panthers. That I think he fits better with that type of situation right now. But what I'm going to do here, because I've talked about this game far too long, I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers one last time this season, Jeff. These guys have really put a dent in my pocket. This is why my ass is sitting here 12 games behind 500 because I keep trusting the Panthers every other week. And you know what? This week is the week to trust them because they're going to have everybody just dogging them, throwing doo-doo on them, saying that they're the worst thing ever. Bryce is a little midget. He shouldn't be on the field. Blah, 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 blah. And they wind up winning the game with the late field goal. I'm taking the Panthers plus 155. But if they lose this week, I'm not taking them for the rest of the year. They'll just have to beat me.
Well, I'm in the same boat as you in regards to the Panthers. It's just been a money pit for me. Mm-hmm. When you can find Adam Thielen open 6, 7, 8, 9 times a game and you're considered, the little engine that could, a la Kyler Murray here. I keep comparing this, but I would love to see what Bryce Young could do with Nico Collins, with Tank Dell, with Noah Brown, with Robert Woods, with Dalton Schultz. On paper, Carolina thought they had some weapons with Jonathan Mingo, who's another stiff like Quentin Johnson, Terrence Marshall. And they brought over Adam Thielen, and they spent the money on Miles Sanders. And the fact of the matter is, no one's healthy, no one's open. It's just been a dumpster fire. And now the rumblings came out this week that Frank Reich, believe it or not, could be one and done. There's going to be a lot of coaches that are going to be unexpectedly fired late once the dominoes start to fall. I waved the white hands. The number smells. It really does. My true number here, Pops, was blah, 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 blah. Where are we here? 4 with a 37.5, down to 3.5 with 37. Money coming in on the Panthers side. I bought the hook. I took the Panthers down to 3, the Titans down to 3. We're seeing probably the last full year of O. Henry. Levis shown flashes again. He came in that one game from a hurt Tannehill, threw the 4 touchdowns, and then it's done nothing since. I just hope they find a way. I think the defense will put a lot of pressure on Bryce Young. I think they'll turn the ball over a couple times, maybe D-Hop a big game. Tajay Spears, 27-17 Titans. How's that, Pops?
Sounds good to me, sir. Sounds good.